Today we're going to talk about process server. My name is Lance. I'm a California private investigator and a process server, and I've been serving papers for over 25 years. And we just left serving a small claims papers to American Honda Motor Company over here at their registered agent, CSC Lawyers Incorporating Service. CSC Lawyers represents thousands of companies like Airbnb, Wells Fargo, Honda Motors. I mean, there's all kinds of companies that they represent. And I market my business so I can serve documents to those specific locations. That's what I do because it's super easy to serve there. You just go in, hand it off, and leave. So, I don't work for ABC Legal or ProServe. I get my own process server clients because I make content online. So when you guys come in, make sure you give this live stream a like. I'm streaming on TikTok and YouTube right now. And so make sure you like the live. And then tell me whether or not you're a process server. If you're a process server, put a 1 in the chat. If you're a process server, put a 1 in chat. TV on YouTube says, what is ProServe? ProServe is basically a large process server company that gets a lot of cases, and they outsource them to other process servers. So they hire independent contractors throughout the United States to serve the documents on their behalf. But they don't pay nothing. You might get $25 and you got to make 6 attempts. So that's why I'm not doing it. When I can get my own clients like I got here today. I come to this location, it's behind me, CSC Lawyers, every day. I come here every day, but I make a lot of content online. And so, some of the things that you do when you're a process server is how you get your clients. So for one, you got to have a Google My Business listing. That's one of the things you got to have is a Google My Business listing. Then you got to have a website. You're going to need a website so people can actually reach you. And it lists all your services and the areas that you serve and the types of documents that you serve. Those are 2 of the things that you need to have. So put a 1 in the chat if you have your own website. Put a 1 in the chat if you have your own process server website. So welcome in, everybody. We're in Sacramento. My name is Lance. I'm a California private investigator and a process server, and I train and mentor process servers on how to get started in the business and also how to get your own process server clients. Because that's the hardest part, is getting your own process server clients. And I have a one-on-one coaching session. The link is in the video description, or if you're on TikTok, the link is in the on my bio, where I can work with you specifically to help you either get started in the business or help you get clients for your area. It has to do with keyword research. It has to do with SEO. All those things are needed, because when somebody comes and they type in Sacramento process server, you want your information to show up in the Google search results. But if they type in Wells Fargo subpoena, that's the kind of stuff I target. I don't target process servers for the city. I target serving specific companies at a specific location. Or if somebody searches for CSC Lawyers Incorporating Service, my information will pop up. And I've got videos, I've got website content, so you need to learn how to build a website, which is through WordPress. That's something that you're going to need to do, because you need to, you don't want to be trying to find somebody to do it for you. You want to be waiting on somebody else when you got to do it yourself. That's the bottom line, is you got to get your own ability to build your own website, because you got to add content to that website on an ongoing basis. So, like I have a website for serving this location, and every week I'm posting an article about how to serve legal papers to Airbnb or another company at their registered agent, CSC Lawyers Incorporating Service. And then I'll put information in there about CSC Lawyers with the address, so that when people search for that, my information pops up. Yeah, my information pops up. So that's basically what I do. Now, anybody have a question about marketing their process server business? Anybody have any questions? Yeah, so that kind of narrows it down on what to do to market your business to get your own clients. Now, to become a process server, California, you got to get registered in your local recorder's office. Now, other states have different rules and requirements, but in California, you have to register. So you go to your local county clerk or your county recorder's office. You have to fill out an application. You're going to need to go get a live scan fingerprint and make sure you don't have any felony convictions. You're going to need to get a $2,000 process server bond. Now, that bond might be $50 to $100 to get the bond, but it's a $2,000 bond, but it costs you $50 to $100 to get it. You're going to need to get a couple passport size photos, and then you submit that paperwork and you become a process server. You're a registered process server. So now you can go out and serve legal papers to people, businesses, or entities. That's what you're able to do. But you don't know what you're doing. I mean, because when you're serving people, there's paperwork that's involved. They've got different kinds of serves, like personal service, substituted service, drop serves, service by mail. You got to know when you can do those different types of serves. You got when you can't serve them, what do you do then? I mean, these are all kinds of things that you need to know. And so I have an online process server training course where I can teach you who to serve, how to serve, and how to fill out the paperwork. The link for that is on my website, and it's a self-paced. And then also I mentor you a little bit after you do it to help you get your business started. Yeah, to help you get your business started. And so, like some of the companies that people work for are like ABC Legal, but I've heard bad things about them, where people get a job with ABC Legal, and then all of a sudden ABC Legal will fire you, well, and just for no reason. You're like, what's going on? And so, but some people make decent money working for ABC Legal, but it's like a volume where you're gonna have to get a lot of cases, because if they're paying you $25 a case and you got to go 5 times, you're gonna, just to make $200 a day, you're gonna need 10, 15, you're gonna need a lot of cases coming in every day, and hopefully you're successful when you serve somebody. But most of sometimes when you're serving people, most of the time there might be a bad address or they're not home, so that's why I specialize in targeting where I serve. So I go after registered agents for service or process. And in my city, there's several of them. And each one that I have has its own separate website with its own separate content, with its own separate YouTube channel, with its own separate Facebook page. So that's how I target serving those locations. And there's little tricks about building these websites and which domain names to use that I cover in my one-on-one consultation. Because that's like a little trade secret on how to build that website so that people will be calling you to serve those documents. Yep. So we're going to end this live right now. I want to thank you who all came in. But I've got to do some other stuff on another channel. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me for more.